It's Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today is another Matt's movie review. And the film we're going to be talking about today is Turbulence, starring Ray Liotta, sadly passed away recently. And this film came out in 1997. So I had an opportunity to watch this recently for the first time, not seen it before, thoroughly enjoyed the film. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you today a bit about the film, my thoughts on it, bit of trivia, film facts, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get on with a review of Turbulence today. Turbulence came out in 1997 and it was a certificate 18 in the UK. It's an action stroke thriller genre and it ran for 1 hour and 40 minutes. A stewardess must outwit a serial killer and ensure the safe landing of a plane after he takes over the plane that is carrying a group of prisoners. The initial release was the 10th of January 1997 and directed by Robert Butler. Box office was $11.5 million and this was distributed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Cast included Ray Liotta as Ryan Weaver, Lauren Holly as Terry Halloran, Ben Cross as Captain Samuel, William Burton as Port Authority Officer, Rachel Tickertin, Rachel Taper, Jeffrey DeMunn as Brooks, John Finn as the FBI agent, Catherine Hicks as Maggie, Heidi Kling as Betty, J. Kenneth Campbell as Captain Matt Powell, and Richard Hoyt Miller as Marshall Riordan. Also starred Grand L. Bush as Marshall A. Arquette, and he was in Die Hard. Also starred Brendan Gleeson. On some trivia about the film. Despite being a box office failure when released theatrically, 2 direct-to-video sequels were made. This was due to the movie being one of the most rented home videos of 1997. The film was initially scheduled for theatrical release in December 1996 to coincide with its Christmas setting, but was instead delayed until January 97. MGM pulled trailers from theatres and temporarily suspended its marketing campaign after the crash of a TWA Flight 800 on the 17th of July 1996. And finally, as the plane is loading near the beginning of the film, Catherine Hicks and Lauren Holly have a discussion about serial killers. Hicks says, "Did you ever see Bundy? He was a charmer. Mark Harmon played him in a TV movie." Holly later went on to star opposite Mark Harmon in the final season of Chicago Hope and NCIS. Okay, so let's get on to the film and sort of my thoughts on this. So yeah, it kind of starts out that you sort of meet the characters of Ray Liotta, and initially you're kind of introduced to him, and he seems like a normal sort of guy. Goes home to his girlfriend and at Christmas time, and you know, you kind of think, well, initially you probably think, oh, this guy's probably going to be the hero of the film. And the character of Lauren Holly, you see her, and she's kind of just split up with her boyfriend, so kind of feeling a bit sad about things at the Christmas period, and you kind of see the other characters that are going to sort of appear in the film, the flight attendants, and this kind of thing. And then you see Ray Liotta's character. He gets arrested by the police and taken away. Then events kind of move on to you know, plane being prepped. It's going to be taking 2 prisoners, one Ray Liotta's character and Brendan Leeson's character. He's another criminal, and both of these guys are going to be taken aboard the airplane, which has a few passengers on board. It's a very there's hardly any passengers on this flight because of the 2 criminals, and these criminals have sort of policemen sort of with them, with guns, etc. And as we get more into the film, you kind of get the impression that Brendan Gleeson is going to be the bad guy in this, and Ray Liotta is kind of he's a bit of an unusual character. At times you think he's going to be the good guy, and then other times you're not so sure. So anyway, as the film progresses, you then find that Brendan Leeson's character has to go to the toilet, takes out one of the policemen, and then subsequently escapes into the airline, shooting most of the policemen. Then as events continue, unfortunately the pilot gets killed again by Brendan Gleeson, and the co-pilot winds up hitting his head in the cockpit and dying from his injuries. As the film progresses, obviously, there's nobody flying the airline, and they're going to hit a really bad storm. From a scale of 1 to 6, this is a number 6, so it's pretty bad conditions. Hence the word of the title of the film, Turbulence. There is indeed a lot of turbulence that these passengers will face. And as the film progresses, you start to see Ray Liotta's character unravel to actually be a crazy guy himself. He's actually you're led to believe that he's innocent for his crimes, but in fact that's not the case at all, and this guy is just as crazy as the police were saying. And basically the story is about his character and the character of Lauren Holly, her trying to get the plane to land. She has no experience. She's often in the cockpit on her own, trying to communicate with the airport. You've got the FBI in the airport communications tower, along with the airport staff, aircraft staff, shall we say, and the police guy who has arrested Ray Liotta's character. He's there as well. So yeah, it's very action-packed film. There's a lot of tense scenes, cat and mouse kind of sort of feel to this, and it's well paced. Good effects in it. You see the plane sort of flying through this storm. Inside the plane, all stuff flying around. It really sort of draws you into the film, and quite heavily action paced, but with a very sort of cat and mouse kind of thriller feel to it as well. And without sort of telling you the sort of how the film ends up, all I'll say is that it's very much Lauren Holly's character, how she kind of deals with the situation, and her in sort of battle between her and Ray Liotta. Unfortunately, as I say, certain crew members do get killed. The remaining passengers and crew are kind of locked away in part of the plane, and we don't know whether they have been killed or whether they've survived. And you kind of find that out at the end of the film as to what's happened there. But yeah, I would highly recommend watching this film. It's very sort of keeps you guessing. As I say, I'd gone into this not knowing anything about the film, so certainly there's a lot of twists and turns in it, and a very entertaining film. So I would definitely give this a thumbs up. So yeah, I watched Turbulence. I say I watched it on streaming service Paramount Plus, and picture and sound quality was very good. It was streamed in HD, and the sound was Dolby Digital, no Atmos or anything like that, but it was a good sound mix. I mean, I watched it. I didn't watch it on my projector or sound system. I just watched it on the television, but it was perfectly adequate, through the speakers of the TV. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the film, and would definitely recommend you watching Turbulence as a good sort of action thriller sort of genre. Sort of kind of disaster, I suppose, element about it. But yeah, a good film, and I would highly recommend it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Take care, and see you in the next one. Bye now.